Hey guys, it's Max. In this video, we're going to talk about why lights are important. Now, I just finished doing an interview with Griffin Hammond, so you guys will see that coming up soon on the channel, so make sure you guys subscribe for that. And we're also doing this video on a Canon EOS M5 that I'm also doing a review on. And this is going to be a one-take video handheld using the kit lens plus the electronic stabilizer. So you guys keep that in mind when you're watching it and watch for anything weird. So it's kind of an experiment and a video at the same time. So I've wanted to make this video for a little bit of time, and I think it just is a perfect time to do so. I have a set here that I set up specifically for the interview, and I'm using a 3-point lighting system. And just a few days ago, I had somebody comment on one of my videos, and they said that I did not know what I was doing with lighting. I should focus not on gear, but on figuring out how to use a 3-point lighting system and stuff like that. So the first thing I did, of course, is I banned him from my channel. So just kidding, I did not ban him from the channel. But there are certain reasons why I can't always use a 3-point lighting setup. So sometimes when I'm against my desk and there's just no space to do so, if I want to use the setup there and kind of have that look for a video. But here I was able to. So I want to talk about why lights are important and why you kind of need them. So if you don't use any lights in a room like this room is really well lit, at least it has a lot of light. This office space has 28 fluorescent 4-foot bulbs. They throw a lot of light, and at a f2.8 aperture at 1/50th, 200 ISO is enough for a proper exposure. And even though I swapped them out to daylight colored, they're still not great. There's strobing and some banding and stuff, some other issues like that, which isn't great. You guys have seen it in some of my videos, kind of tough. You also get quite a bit of shadows because the lights are spread out everywhere. So that's something that we have to deal with. But one way that we kind of combat that is having a good lighting setup. So I think the most important thing is to have at least a key light. That's your main light. So for this video, we're using this Aputure Lightstorm 1/2. So this is usually my fill light, but for this setup, I set it up as my key because I didn't want it to throw very much light on the backdrop. I want it to be a darker setup, and we did use kind of a dark low-key setup for the video. So I use this as my key instead of my fill. Now, the second light I think that you should have is a hair light. So the hair light that we're using is this Aputure 672. It's a very, very great low-budget LED light. Once you're ready to start spending a little bit of money, they're not very expensive, but they do cost some money. They come with batteries, or you can run them with a cord like this. So that is my hair light. So the reason why you want a hair light is you want to have some subject and background separation. Now you could do that with a lens and a wide aperture as well to get some background blur, but it looks really nice not to just blend into your background and have that little edge lighting, as you guys will see. So if you want to do a 3-point setup, of course you do need to have a fill light as well. So that's what we have here. This is also the same type of aperture, but here I have a little it's not really a soft box, but it's a little cheap edition that they make for it. Softens up the light, as along with a little plastic diffuser. And this is usually my key, but in this case, I used it as the fill. So let's go ahead and take a look at a photo example of me just sitting here, actually my assistant just sitting here without any of these lights. So this is what it would look like. So now let's go ahead and add in our key light. So there's the difference there, you guys see. I definitely think it looks better already. Now we're going to add in our fill light next. There's that change. And then last, let's go ahead and add in our hair light. So already a big difference from the first setup. We're going to also just do a little bit of organization. We're going to add a salt lamp in the background, clean that up, and there is kind of the final look. So you guys can see the before and the after. We still have some small shadowing and stuff like that from the lights overhead, and we can't really fix that unless we just turn them off. So now you guys see kind of the low-key version of this lighting setup, and this is what we used for the interview. Now, one thing a lot of people ask is kind of what's a good low light camera what's a good low light lens, or some people just want to go run out and buy an A7S or A7S II because they think that way they don't have to buy lights, they don't have to spend the money, they don't have to lug the lights around, they don't have to set up and figure out where shadowing is and stuff like that. They can just raise up the ISO to 3200, 6400, or 50,000 or whatever. But you can't just do that. It's not going to fix all your problems because lights, they don't only allow you to lower your ISO and get rid of some of that film or the noise or the grain. They also just make the image look a lot better, like you guys saw. This setup here, just the lights in my office already throws a lot of light, but doesn't mean it looks good. So same thing in low light situations. If you just raise up your ISO, you guys see an example here, yes, your exposure is right, and if you're using a good camera, you're not going to have a lot of noise in the image, but that doesn't look good. And then swapping back to our lit setup, you guys see this already looks a lot better. The lamps in the background look a lot nicer, and just overall, the way my assistant looks there, it's way nicer than just raising up your ISO really high and having that kind of look. So if you're getting into filmmaking, you've been doing it for a while, you really have to learn and purchase at least a few lights to improve your setup, so you don't have to just resort to raising up your ISO, and it's going to make your shots look a lot nicer. So thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you guys thought. If you guys have suggestions for me, don't worry, I will not ban you from the channel. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm not a professional at lighting. I'm still learning and getting better and improving, so I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. And I'll have some links to some less expensive options. I started out with using some of these really cheap. I think they're maybe about 20 bucks. I'll link them in Amazon. Just some of these to add a little bit of fill and help out. There's also this light. If you're on a budget and you want a good hair light, this thing you can use for a lot of different situations. But like, I absolutely love this light, but it works as a great hair light, and I use this thing quite often. So I'll do a separate video on this. It's an iCan. I'll have a link to it as well. Great, great, great light. I love this light here. And then I'll also link up the first regular light sets. Now I use all LED, but I started off using some fluorescent lighting sets. They're really inexpensive now. You get a 3-point set for, I don't know, about 100 bucks. Maybe 1 to 150. So definitely, if you're getting started, you can't afford LED lights, even though these are fairly inexpensive, that is an option. So go check out those links, and if you guys are new, subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out the awesome interview along with this camera review. I can't wait to hear your guys' feedback, and thank you to all the Patreon supporters. We definitely appreciate it, and because of you guys, we can make more videos and better ones at the same time. I will see you in the next video.